HMOs, what are they and do you need a licence? I wanted to create a short but to the point video covering this topic as there can be some confusion around HMOs and whether or not you'll need a licence. So watch this video till the end and hopefully it'll answer any questions that you may have. Hi, if we haven't met before, my name's Dan and I'm a CeMAP qualified mortgage and protection advisor. This video is purely for educational purposes only and should not be seen as advice or recommendation to act, and I must stress, as a mortgage is secured against your property, it could be repossessed if you do not keep up with the mortgage repayments. Before I get started, I must stress some mortgages on investment properties are regulated by the FCA, and this video is purely based on mortgages that are not regulated by the FCA. One thing to note is, in order to obtain a HMO mortgage, the majority of lenders require you to be an experienced buy-to-let landlord first. So just keep that in mind before applying. So what is a HMO? HMO stands for Housing Multiple Occupation. If you thought it stood for Health Maintenance Organisation, you're not wrong, it does, but you're on the wrong video. HMO is a term used to describe a property that is owned by a private landlord and shared by a number of people. There are a range of different types of property that could fall under this definition, depending on how many people are living there and what the living arrangements are. Generally speaking, where there are 3 or more tenants in a property who make up more than one household with a shared toilet, bathroom or kitchen facilities, this could be a HMO. A few examples of what type of property could be classed as a HMO are a shared house, a hostel, multiple bedsits in one building and a converted block of flats. Whether you have a HMO normally depends on the number of households within the property, although you're also at the mercy of the local authority restrictions. So I strongly recommend looking into this as each area is different. When I say households, I mean members of the same family who are living together, such as couples or a single person. So if Mr. and Mrs. Smith live with Mr. Jones, that's 2 households. I mentioned a few moments ago about being at the mercy of the local authority. This is because it can be up to them whether or not you'll need to apply to them to obtain a HMO licence. It will normally be required where the HMO is at least 3 stories high, where there are at least 2 distinct households living there, and in total there are 5 or more unrelated people living in the building. A landlord with a property that meets these requirements must apply for a licence to the local authority that will look at whether or not they're fit and proper person to be a HMO landlord. They will also look at factors such as the safety features of the property and its size. If you already own a property and it sounds like you may need a licence, it's a good idea to check. If you don't obtain one when you should have one, you can be fined 12 months rent and you cannot use the Section 21 notice procedure. So why would people consider living in a HMO? Various reasons really. I'd say the number one driving factor has to be cost. Some areas, especially in London, are expensive and can be unaffordable to most. It isn't always as simple as moving to a different area. There are a number of reasons why people may have to stay put. By living in a HMO, they're able to share the cost with other residents. They'll have their own private room, but are expected to share facilities such as a kitchen and bathroom. And this means it's going to be cheaper than living alone. There is also the social aspect of living with other people. People have gone on to make good friends and even partners for life living in a HMO. They may even need a temporary accommodation as the area they're required to work in means travelling could be too far. So there is also that. As there are more people in a HMO property, wear and tear can be more intense and so repairs and replacements may be required more often. Just like with a regular property that you'd rent out, it will be, as the landlord, your responsibility to repair any damages. Things which need repairing are electrical wiring, water and gas pipes, fixed heaters, radiators, sinks and toilets, as well as the structure of the building itself, so walls, gutters, windows, etc. Tenants must notify you when a repair is required, but the smaller repairs, such as changing a light bulb, are things that tenants should do. So what does this mean for you, the landlord? Well, HMOs have different standards, much higher ones in fact. Simply because of the larger number of people under one roof, the landlord of a HMO has higher standards to meet. For example, When it comes to the safety of the property, gas safety checks must be carried out every year and the electrical system checks every 5 years. Smoke alarms and carbon monoxide alarms must also be fitted, although this is standard now. Keeping the property clean by making sure that there are adequate rubbish disposal facilities, bins and bin bags, and providing washing and cooking facilities of a certain standard. It is also your responsibility to prevent overcrowding and keep shared and communal areas in a good state of repair. So as you can imagine, things can be costly, but you often do receive higher rent on a HMO compared to a standard buy-to-let. But you really should run the numbers first to check if the additional rent will cover all your additional costs and if it will be worth it. Please seek professional advice before applying for a buy-to-let or HMO mortgage. Watch this video on how to buy an investment property. If you found this video helpful, please give it a like. It really does help me out. Please remember, as the mortgage is secured against your property, it could be repossessed if you don't keep up with the mortgage repayments. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you next week.